It's Bret the Hitman Hart.
Coming down the aisle, weighing 250 pounds from Calgary, Alberta, Canada, he is the reigning, defending WWF World Heavyweight Champion, Bret the Hitman Hart. That's right. This is Homeboy88. And just like Bret the Hitman Hart, he was the excellence of execution. Well, I'm the excellence of podcast execution. I'm the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. Hell, I could do a video game show, an interview show, a comedy show, conspiracy theory show, hip-hop show. It don't matter because I bring it. I gotta tell you, today, we're bringing back a fun guest from the past. He shoots from the hip and he never misses. He brings the heat. Welcome, the heel, Brandon Meltzer.
Oh boy, 88. Man, it is good to be back on a real show with a real host. Thank you so much for having me back. It's been too long. Since our first show, I've been getting people stopping on the street. When are you going to be back on with Homeboy? When are you going to be back on with Homeboy? Well, today, the people's dreams come true. I'm glad to be back. Thank you for having me on again.
And we're going to discuss today. Today, the topic is UFC, WWE. I was speaking about this with you. It was officially going to be UFC versus WWE, but it's going to be all-encompassing, the both companies. They're under one company, and we're going to celebrate. We're also going to debate. We're going to talk about these two companies, what we love, what we don't love, who's better.
Right. Well,
if there's anybody,
there's no debate.
For me right now, it's the UFC. Look, I got, you can't see it. It's the Ultimate Fighting Championship.
Yeah.
For you, it's the WWE.
Well, there's no debate, Homeboy. There's no debate at all. And I'm sorry, listen, I respect you as a host. I respect your opinion. I respect you as a podcaster, communicator, as an entertainer. I respect your knowledge of what you know and everything. There are other quote-unquote hosts out there that can never do what you do. Like there's this guy, I don't know, that Jimmy T.
Shit.
First of all, he can never book me. Okay, that he'd never be able to book me. All right, so the fact that you got me is great. So
why can't he book you? Why can't he book you? What are the reasons?
Well, first of all, I need an audience. Okay. I need an audience
God.
To talk to. If I wanted to talk to myself, I would set up a mirror.
Right.
So that's why I'm happy to be here. But I got to tell you, Homeboy, there is no debate, man. UFC is the redheaded stepchild to WWE. It pales in comparison. It doesn't compare, and it never will, and it never will come close.
Well, as far as like an organization, I was actually watching the McMahon series. And boy, at first, I've consumed so many WWF/WWE, WCW, all those documentaries, all those interviews. I thought I saw it all, but you know what? I got to give it up to Netflix. They did a great fucking job.
Yes.
On the McMahon. I'm still watching it, and I will finish watching it. And there's a podcaster. His name is Patrick Bet David, and he watched. He wasn't a wrestling fan. He's a businessman, so he appreciated the Vince McMahon story.
Sure.
He said he couldn't stop watching all night long, bro. Yeah. And he's a busy guy. He watched the entire shit from midnight till whenever he finished.
Yeah.
Because it's I can't lie. What Vince McMahon did and what he did what Vince McMahon built WWF, WWE, it's a fucking monster. Right,
Absolutely.
Brandon?
Absolutely. He's a genius. And while we're on the subject of Netflix, WWE just had their first Raw on Netflix this week, ringing in the new year 2025. And now WWE is on Netflix. Raw is on Netflix for the first time in like 30 years. Monday Night Raw is now being broadcast on Netflix. And let me tell you, it's fantastic. It
I
blows
heard.
USA out of the water. I'm happy it's there. We got pay-per-view quality matches. We don't have to deal with the censorship of network TV. They're free, they're creative, they can do it if they want. Listen, I'm sure they're gonna rein it in at some point. To be honest with you, what it reminds me of is when Howard Stern first went to satellite. Okay. They exploded with like a bunch of they could do whatever they want. But after a year or so, they realized that sometimes holding back is good. So I will bet you my prediction was that they're going to kind of go crazy attitude era style for a little while and then maybe rein it in a little bit because there's something about the tease. You could give everybody, but when you tease a little bit and leave something for another show, that says a lot. So
Uh-huh.
they're doing big things. They're doing great things. They're pretty much probably keeping MMA alive under the TKO Holdings thing. Emma, UFC probably has to thank WWE that they
No,
partnered up, so they're
no,
still
no, no,
alive.
no, 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 no. But I'm gonna play something from Netflix that just happened. We're gonna play this, and then we're gonna react to it. This was crazy right here. Let's unmute it. This is Hulk Hogan coming out to Inglewood, California.
Let me tell you something, brother.
Hulk Hogan met with a chorus of boos from pro wrestling's biggest fans.
You, the fans, have been my greatest tag team partner because you guys have stuck with me through thick and thin, dudes.
Hulkamania. Hulk Hogan, man. He got fucking booed.
That must hurt.
Mr. Terry Bollea himself in Inglewood. Inglewood's always up to no good.
Always up to no good.
That's in California Live. Remember they said that shit?
Of course. Listen, I know you're a Hogan fan, okay? And I can look back and I can appreciate some matches, right?
Right.
But I got to tell you, it felt good.
To get booed? For him to get booed? Why?
It felt good, man. It's because he's done. It's over. It's in the past. Let's stop. I'm tired of this nostalgia. I'm tired of reliving.
Oh, man.
Listen, the past is the past. All we got is the present and the future. All right, and he keeps dragging out the same shtick, the same yellow, the same orange, the American flag. It was nice to see Jimmy Hart. But come on. He's got a Bud Light knockoff with his beer.
Real American
go down
beer.
to Florida and crisp yourself up and just go, Hogan. Just go. We're done.
I gotta tell you, you got real American beer, dude, but we got real American hot dogs too, dude. It comes in a 24 fucking pack, like the 24-inch pythons, dude. You gotta rip that shit open like Hulkamania did. This shirt back in the days, dude. And it comes with red and yellow, ketchup and mustard, brother. What you gonna do when the Hulk Hogan real American beer and he eats with some fucking real American hot dogs, brother? Right, dude.
I would eat the hot dogs because I love hot dogs. Nothing like it.
I mean, they look like Hulk Hogan's skin back in the day. He looked hot dog.
He tears off the shirt, busting out like when you put it in the microwave.
That would be a cool product. Come on, Hulk Hogan. You gotta pair that shit up.
Now listen. There's an old saying that we've forgotten as a society. You don't bring up politics or religion, and he did that. And guess what? This is what happens when you do that. All right, people aren't going to agree with you, and that's what you get. So maybe as a business decision, he should have kept his mouth shut about a few things, But hey,
what did Michael
got a right to say what he wants.
What did Michael Jordan say? Republicans buy shoes too. So you got to be careful on that. When you're selling a product.
Mm-hmm. Walk the line.
Yeah, walk the line, bro. You can't go hardcore one way or the other. But I mean. It's funny because we're going to talk about UFC and WWE. Well, right now we're WWE. You're still on the old school, leave it in the past. Come on, bro.
Absolutely. I'm tired of this shit, man. Like, listen, it was great to see the Undertaker made an appearance. Okay, Rhea Ripley, one of the best in the business. She won her match. She won the title on Monday night as she was as she was walking to the ring, the Undertaker came out and did his little do 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 in a motorcycle, and then and then they lifted the hands up.
Oh,
I love the Undertaker. What purpose did that serve for the story? It served no purpose, just to give the fans a cheap pop. It's a cheap pop. It's not necessary. Okay, while we're on the subject, I got a problem with the Rock's promo he cut. Okay, yeah, it was all, he came out at the beginning of the show. It was all good and well. It's happy to be here, and then it's just kissing Netflix's ass. I get it. You got to do it a little bit, but let's keep it in our pants, Rock. Okay, just because you're a whore for the business, you don't have to expose yourself. You expose the fans to that, and I get it. The fans are smarter now; they understand how it works. But Jesus, guys, you guys had your chance. Get out and let the new people, let the new kids, let the new talent run.
Now, I got a couple of questions. Like, was there any hiccups to the streaming? Because when Jake Paul fought Mike Tyson, it was god awful, man. It was like buffering. It was like pausing and shit. I had to get in and out of the app. Netflix. Did it run smooth this time? Did they fix
what
it?
I saw, no, I didn't see it. I didn't catch it live. I actually caught it a couple hours after it aired live, and it streamed fine. And you know what? From what I've read and heard, I didn't hear about that. Now, granted, maybe there were more viewers on the Paul Tyson fight. Netflix notoriously does not release its numbers, and in terms of quality, it looked beautiful. The cinematography,
I gotta watch it.
Yeah, they did a great job. The camera angles, the camera shots.
That's what I heard.
Yeah,
they have new shots, right? Like close-up shots.
Yes. You can say what they're doing, and they're involving dialogue between the wrestlers during the match. They're trying to catch that to elevate the storyline. So I like what they're doing. I think everybody, the talent, needs to get on board. In terms of some people maybe need a little more training or need to be a little bit more savvy in front of a camera in terms of what to say. But I like where their head is. I like where they're going, and I really hope they could keep it up. 10 years is a long contract, but if they keep it up,
10 years.
Do it. Yeah, man, 10 years on Netflix. What if, I always wonder, what if after a year it all goes to hell, and then Netflix is like, oh shit, we got 9 more years.
Yeah, like a lot of people's contracts, right? Remember Vince McMahon offered Bret the Hitman Hart a fucking 20-year career, and it didn't happen.
Yeah.
I told you in our last show, which I'm going to post at the end, a link. I told you that
they're going to need more after this.
I told you that WWE is going to become a library, and that's what it's going to be. No more events. No, I was being a little controversial myself.
Yes,
but there were also some things that Mr. Brandon Meltzer got right. So I'm looking there right now. You said Roman Reigns was going to get the belt for 1,000 days. That happened.
Thank you. Or you're welcome.
You also said Cody Rhodes was going to become the WWE champion.
Of course.
And you also said WWE was going to get bigger, and now with Netflix it happened.
Am I not the greatest journalist out there?
Brandon Meltzer, maybe not a cousin to that son of a bitch, D. Meltzer.
Yeah, listen, he's a scumbag, all right? Nobody needs that guy. Again, out with the old, in with the new, all right?
I was watching Mr. McMahon. I didn't know that they're like this back in the days.
Well,
your
you
relative.
had to be if you wanted to get the story with McMahon. If you crossed him, you weren't getting squat, so.
Right.
So, all those backdoor deals and, hush hush stuff, and it worked. It's fine. But listen, today I'm here for the truth, nothing but the truth. I don't care who I offend. And let me tell you what's going to happen forward. All right. Rhodes is going to turn heel. All right. Roman Reigns, our champion again. And we're going to have the whole charade all over again. It's going to be beautiful.
All right. So here's some numbers for UFC versus WWE, and I'm like, shit, man. Okay. So money-wise, in 2024, UFC made $3.2 billion. Okay. That's a lot of money. That's so fucking good. WWE made 2.23, edging out UFC, $1 billion. My God, but here's the problem, okay? UFC has less events, And WWE, how many times a week are they on? Twice? And they have a pay.
Well, for WWE, they also have the NXT, so at least twice, depending on if you want to qualify the whole organization, it is more than twice. So they are bi-weekly at least.
And as far as UFC, every time they go to an event, they make more money at the gate.
No,
Right.
well, they did. They
No, they
did.
do. No, they do.
Yeah. And no, well, you watch, it'll change. The thing about the TKO Holdings, the group that owns everything, and it's already started.
Well-
Ticket prices are going. For example, Raw was the highest revenue for an arena event at the gate. Okay, which is nice, but all that means is that ticket prices are higher than they've ever been before. That's what it means. Because I'm sure they've been to arenas with a higher seating capacity in the past, and the fact that the Intuit Dome, which is still like 17,000, generated the highest revenue at the gate.
Really?
Yeah, ever for WWE. It only means that the ticket prices were the highest they've ever been. You know what? You know what I mean? I mean, because they've obviously played to bigger venues, but if they made more money at a smaller venue, then that must mean that the tickets are higher than they ever been. But that's what comes, now that it's a corporate world. So, things are just going to go up and up and up. And the funny part is Triple H announces that at the beginning of the show, and the crowd cheers. Yeah, and the crowd cheers. He's pretty much telling them we're screwing you, and you love us for it. It's one thing to take a man's money. Anybody could take a man's money, but to make them love you and take it, that's a special talent. That's a special talent. So I do see that changing. I do see UFC, their gates are gonna, while they will stay high, WWE will surpass them here in the next year or so. It's a show. UFC is not a show. UFC
it is a show.
It's the difference between masturbating and making love. That's the difference between UFC. Man. That's the difference between UFC and WWE. UFC is a flash in the pan. It's here. It's gone.
Oh shit.
WWE is a show. It's a story. It's a world. You're creating a world. It's like the Avengers versus like the 2002 Fantastic Four movie. Okay, it's you can't really compare the two. And I'm sorry you're a mark for UFC, but that's the truth, my friend.
So it says largest arena gate in WWE history. If that includes international shows, it would have to be well over 3 million. Come on. That doesn't make any sense.
For a single show?
Yeah, 3 million. It has to be more than that. Why are they? Come on.
Well,
man.
no, they did on Monday. They specified an arena show versus a.
Arena show. Okay.
Yeah, I got the pay-per-views. They're done in stadiums.
That's right.
It was the largest gate for an arena show on Monday.
You want to know how much UFC made in Vegas at the Sphere?
How much?
22 million.
20. That's it. Well, I imagine.
You know why? No, and they put on a show. It was great. It was like for Cinco de Mayo, and they're celebrating Mexican heritage, which was really cool. It was a really cool. Because, like, if you go to Vegas and you go to, like, a U2 show or at the Sphere or, like, a Fish or whatever, it's a spectacle, right? It's very vivid inside. Right. Even the outside's cool. So when they did the UFC, then it was like, nah, this is one and done. Was just too much. I think it cost $20 million to do.
Yeah. It must be very expensive to book the Sphere. The same reason WWE hasn't really had any shows at Madison Square Garden is because they don't really turn a profit there. Although they did announce Raw is coming back to MSG here within the next month or two. So
Guess who does turn a profit at Madison Square Garden?
The Knicks.
The UFC, bro.
The Knicks.
They got the top 5 or 6 gates out of the top 10.
Let me tell you something about UFC.
Madison Square
Garden.
Garden.
Going to sustain, my friend. It will not sustain. It can't sustain because you know why? There's no soul. There's no soul in UFC. It's all surface. It's all flash in the pan. There's no stories. There's nothing for the viewer to connect to. It's a quick little and it's done. WWE, you fall in love. You connect with characters. UFC, okay. Oh, here's a final. It's done. There's nothing personal about it.
Damn, it says UFC 309, the latest one with John Jones. it did damn it. Where's it at? 16.7 million at the gate. That's
Yeah.
insane, bro.
Oh, there's a lot of
And
money out there.
I hate to say it, Trump was there. Hey, Triple H and Stephanie McMahon were there at front row. And
Of course.
they were impressed. And here's why it's a show, okay?
It's like
So
when
you
your
got-
child takes its first steps. That's how they're impressed.
so it's like it was John Jones, supposedly the greatest of all times, versus Stipe Miocic, the most winningest heavyweight for UFC of all time. I don't know, you don't know
Okay.
that.
Okay.
They fight finally at Madison Square Garden. John Jones is a fucking beast. He gets on top of him. He's elbowing his fucking brains in. Then he does a goddamn spinning kick. He's a heavyweight now, but he jumps in the air, spins around like fucking Avatar, the cartoon and shit, and kicks him right in the ribs. Stipe crumbles to the ground, and it's all over. That was insane. It is a show. People on their feet. Triple H standing up, clapping. Stephanie McMahon standing up, clapping. They just saw something great because it was real. And it was like, if it was like it was scripted too, the whole thing had a storyline to it. And this is why the UFC is like old school WWE. And they cut promos now when they go to press conferences.
They're horrible.
Nope.
Horrible promos. These guys have no camera savvy. They got no
Conor
entertainment
McGregor,
value.
bro. What are you talking about?
There's one versus an entire generation of WWE superstars.
Chael Sonnen, he was good too.
Yeah,
Chael
okay.
Sonnen.
There you go. Let's see if we can break 5. They can't. There's no soul. There's no soul.
Let's see.
It's a lot like it reflects the American culture. It reflects the American culture. It has no soul. I mean, look who they just elected president.
Soul. What are
You
talking
know?
about?
Yeah, that's why. This is the level of fans we're working with here. Single brain celled, dumb
No.
marks. Yes, who will shell out millions of dollars a year for nothing, for an empty flash in the pan.
Oh my god.
It won't last. It won't last.
My sinuses are acting.
It's bad. I'm
because of
feeling
you.
it, brother. It's bad out here. Or is it the truth? Or is it the truth, homeboy? Does the truth hurt just a little too
The
much?
truth hurts my sinuses.
It's okay to admit you're a mark, brother. You still do a fine show.
I used to be a huge fan of WWE when I was a kid because that's what they went for, right? And here's the thing with WWE, okay? And you can see it on the McMahon Netflix special. He went away from the beer drinking and the grandmas going and the smoky cigar venues in Madison Square Garden, and he targeted the kids. Me, you, all these people. We grew up watching that. It was fucking fantastic. They had the toys, they had the rings, they had the fucking wrestling buddies, they had the thumb wrestlers. I mean, we had it all. It was awesome. Hulk Hogan versus Andre, WrestleMania 3, Hulk Hogan versus Ultimate Warrior, WrestleMania 7 or 6. I don't even know
6.
anymore.
Maybe 8. Who knows?
And no, not 8. I don't think 8.
6. I just got a shirt for Christmas.
You should have worn it. What the fuck?
Wait, what are you gonna do? Great shirt.
If we go to break, you got to put it on if
All
you can
right.
find it. Okay.
Well, I don't want to give Hogan the love. I would have worn
I
it,
know,
but I can't give
okay.
Hogan the love.
But what I'm saying is those fans, right? They grew up and they went through the Attitude Era and they went through the NWO to sweet, right? They went through all that and they're still fans, so they're
Of
loyal,
course.
like Jimmy T,
Listen.
like
Mark
you.
Ford every minute.
Like Jeff Lippman. Don't say anything bad about Jeff Lippman. He's
I like Jeff. Listen, if he's okay with you, he's okay with me. Listen, that's because that's the power of storytelling. This goes beyond wrestling or MMA. It's the power of storytelling. It's the same thing that brought human beings together around the campfire as when we were cavemen. It's the power of storytelling, and that's what MMA does not do. You connect to these characters like a movie, like a TV show. You connect and if this is scripted, guess what else is scripted on television? everything. So I don't buy that argument at all. That is the power of storytelling, of good storytelling, of character development. And that is what the MMA and UFC will never be able to accomplish. And that's why it will never be a lasting entertainment entity ever.
But let me continue. Okay, so I want the Attitude Era. Then after that, Vince just bought out WCW and ECW collapsed, and I think from there, that's when I hopped off and I started watching fighting like Pride and UFC and stuff like that. The Cena era, the fucking what they call it, the PG era,
Ruthless Aggression era.
Ruthless Aggression era. Then it was the PG era.
Right.
Then it was
that was dubbed by disenfranchised fans who missed the Attitude Era. And that's the thing. Listen, that's first of all, that's the problem when you have no competition. If you go around and you gobble up, competition breeds a better product. It always does. So the WWE found themselves in a position where they had no competition and they had to figure it out on their own. Now, I'm not defending it. Their quality dipped. But what I will defend to the death, is that they recovered. They recovered. They figured out what was going wrong. They figured out how to change it. And now
I will give you that.
Back.
When they dipped, this is when the UFC rose. They took that opportunity and they had like stars like Chuck Liddell. They had stars like Tito Ortiz. They had stars like Anderson Spider Silva, George St. Pierre, kept going up. Then when Conor McGregor hit the scene, bro, love him or fucking hate him. I don't like him anymore, but
yeah,
love him or hate him, the guy is a superstar. Just like Hogan was a superstar, just like Bret Hart was a superstar. And during that era, WWE was missing superstars and the UFC was full of superstars.
Well, I wouldn't necessarily call them superstars. I would say they're filling a void. They're not really. It's kind of like, well, better than nothing. You know, we can't have what we want. We want a WWE heavyweight champion that grabs the attention of America. We can't. The Rock is gone. At this point, The Rock is gone. We can't have that right now. Okay, Conor McGregor, whatever. We'll take it. You know, better that than nothing. You know, it was a. You know, they were cute. They were cute at the time, and they filled a void. They weren't really great, but they did their job. You know,
they did a good job because Conor.
They did a job.
Conor eventually fought Floyd Mayweather, and that was a huge event. It just kept going. UFC just kept skyrocketing, and I'll give you this: WWE did correct itself because I'm going to tell you, man, from 2010 to I don't even know when, WWE sucked, bro.
And that's the thing. Once you see MMA on the decline, they won't be able to correct themselves because they don't have anything else. All they got are two Dumbos fighting in a cage. There's no story. There's no heart. And let's be honest. The increase in popularity of MMA could directly be correlated with the decrease in intelligence and rational thought in America. Okay, these are, and you excluded. You just happen to get roped in, and I don't know how somebody as smart as you could fall, but these are dumb people. MMA fans are dumb people. Okay.
Well, and some there was a guy named John Anik, and he was getting shit, and he actually did call the UFC fans dumb people, and he's the fucking announcer. People got on his ass. It's because they're attacking him. I guess he's sensitive and stuff, but then it's because he wants to do football, right?
Well, football fans, I would say, are smarter than MMA fans. Listen, MMA scratches a very primitive itch in us, and that's a fighting. And that's it. There's no intelligence to that. There's no art. There's no entertainment.
Yes, there is.
No, there's not.
Yes, there is.
The entertainment is the storytelling. It's in the character building. It's not in a couple of dumb guys hitting each other in the center of the ring and a bunch of drunk white guys going, yeah.
No, because just like wrestling back in the days, a fucking finisher was a goddamn sleeper hold or a suplex or whatever. Yeah. And now it's like these awesome moves. Same thing with the MMA. It's like evolved. It's like they're good at every art, striking, wrestling, grappling, taekwondo.
Do you remember the early mixed martial arts was like it was more like that movie Bloodsport,
It was.
where they'd have like,
People like that
here's a
better.
boxer versus here's like a karate guy and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Did you
Now
like that
I
better?
could get behind. That was good stuff. That was fun.
That shit was brutal. That
Yeah,
shit
that was
brutal.
awesome.
Teeth flying out and shit.
That's good stuff.
Nah, because you know what? The rules were crazy. It was like anything goes. One guy grabbed another guy's crotch and yanked his balls, and that
Let's
was
go.
come on.
If we're gonna do it, let's do it. You know what? I would get on board.
That's
If they
insane.
fought to the death, then you'd have a fan in me.
What the fuck?
Get rid of some of these guys while we're at it, huh?
That has almost happened. Thank God it hasn't happened. But like with the stupid referees, they don't stop it.
Stop it in time.
Yeah, they're just pummeling and pummeling. They don't stop because they don't. There's been some fights where they think they're out. They let him up. Then the guy gets up and wins the fight. I mean, Brock Lesnar did that with Shane Carwin. Shane Carwin was beating the shit out of him. Round 1, round 2, Brock submits him. So it happens. Can't stop until the referee says stop.
Yeah. Well, again, another problem with a problem sport. Shame.
All right, man. Well, we might go run up on a break right now. We will come back. And when we come back, I mean, you've had your opinions on UFC. We've had our opinions on WWE, the new ones. We'll discuss a little more, but then we're gonna go back in the past to our favorite moments for WWE and UFC, a little bit of UFC, but we're gonna celebrate these companies. All right.
All right.
So actually, let's see what we can do right here. All right. Well, actually, all right, here's the debate. For me, greatest storyline of all time in professional wrestling was the Mega Powers exploding.
That's good.
Would you agree? Or what's yours? Because you like the new guys.
Yeah, I mean, I like the new guys, but I would still, there's something about childhood nostalgia. So as much as I hated it, one of the greatest storylines was probably I can appreciate it now, but at the time, because I was such a big Bret Hart guy, Shawn Michaels' ascent to champion, childhood dream, all that bullshit.
That shit was real though. They hated each other.
That was very good. You know what I always
that was like UFC because it was real.
Yeah. You know what I always liked? It was also real.
It was real as it gets.
You didn't get many like main events. I just like the matches that came out of it and the beefs that came out of it. The whole Kane Undertaker brother storyline. Nobody else would say it's great, but I enjoyed it.
Liked it?
The rivalries, because we had Mankind involved in there. And, anytime those guys got involved, it was going to get bloody. It was going to get dirty. It was going to get just brutal. So I like stuff like that. That was good. That was very good.
So if you had to name your top 3 storylines, which is it?
Oh, how about this? How about Owen Hart, Bret Hart? That was a good storyline.
That was a good storyline.
WrestleMania 10, the family storyline. So let's see. Let's put them out there. I'd put that out there. I would put the Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart storyline, his ascension to the championship. And
you can go other organizations too.
Nah. Well, I mean, okay, but I hate the obvious. Okay, NWO, greatest faction. That was up until
that was a good storyline too.
That was great. You know what? Up until they started to split into the Wolfpack and stuff like that. What's Sting gonna do?
We got to discuss
that. Was amazing when we didn't know what Sting was gonna do. That I would say that's up there as well. Yeah.
Before we go, Eric Bischoff, he has the show 83 weeks. Okay. Yeah. If you're on his show, what would you tell Eric Bischoff? Or if you're gonna cut a promo on him, what would you tell him?
I'd say you're a fool. You're a moron. You had a good thing. You didn't know what to do with it. But I guess hindsight's 2020. I would ask him if he would want to come in on the book I'm writing. You know what I mean?
First thing, don't give Hogan fucking the creative control. All right. If you could go back in time, because like you were talking about the Sting, They had a whole year building up that Sting, or even more. And at the end, Hogan doesn't work for me, brother.
Yeah.
What kind of bullshit is that? He didn't want to put Sting over.
Yeah. It was
And they had
ridiculous. And you can look back on his whole career about that. I mean, they made it work enough, but
no, it was horrible.
yeah, they could have.
It was
I
a
mean,
horrible
if Sting
finish.
could have, yeah, it could have ended beautifully, and it did.
It should have been Sting versus Hogan. Sting beats Hogan right in the center of the ring, and that's how it ends.
Yep.
Everybody goes home, except Hogan. This is what I heard. The last day they were going to do it, he's like, you know what, brother, Steve, he's not right in the head right now. He's got a lot of problems, dude. I don't trust him, brother. So it doesn't work for me, dude. I don't think I put him over tonight.
Yeah, that's horrible. That's horrible. And they wonder why they boo him. All these stories are out now.
Yeah.
You
Fucking
know?
Hulk Hogan, yeah. That's right, homeboy.
What about your top three?
My top three, like I said, number one is the Mega Powers exploding, the way they did it and they built it up and everything.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I love Macho Man,
Yeah.
Hulk Hogan. That was great. It was during Saturday Night's Main Event era.
Yeah.
It was fucking awesome, dude.
Yeah.
And then when he finally did explode and beat the shit out of him in the back,
Yeah.
that was cool, man.
It was great.
NWO. Oh shit. I gotta put NWO. I mean, it's obvious, but I mean that was watching it live and who's the third man? Who's the third man?
Mm-hmm.
And it's Hogan. And then for a little while they were kicking ass. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, they were. They absolutely were.
And then they let the inmates run the asylum and they fucking blew it because they all wanted creative control. Not just Hogan, dude. Nash and Hall.
Yeah.
They all wanted Nash beating Goldberg and defeating his win streak.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Didn't need to happen.
Finger poke of doom. Stupid.
Horrible.
Hogan not wanting to lose to Jeff Jarrett, so Jeff Jarrett lays down.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Horrible.
We got less than 1 minute. We'll come right back and we'll discuss some more.
Every man, I am a real American. Fight for what's right. Fight for your life.
Here he is, coming down the weighing 350 fucking pounds from Venice Beach, California, the immortal Hulk Hogan. Well, that's right, brother. I gotta tell you, dude. You know, when I fucking slammed that Andre the Giant, brother, in front of 93,000 fans, you know, I picked him up and I slammed his ass. And I heard my back pop. It was like pop, 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 pop. I had to get like 10 fucking surgeries, brother. I gotta tell you. I never lie, brother. I used to wrestle 375 times a year because I would fly back and forth to Japan. And you know, you pick up an extra day and I'd go to Australia. What you gonna do when the Homeboy88 podcast runs wild on you? And we're back. Speaking of Australia.
Hey, Homeboy, you're a real American hero. You're a real podcast hero. All right, I gotta say something. During our break, I got an email from some, I don't know if his name's Timmy J or Jimmy T or I guess he's got his own little thing going, but he has the nerve to ask me on his show directly. Doesn't he know you contact my people, my booking agent? You went the proper channels. You talked to the right people. How dare he? Let me just say this, Timmy or Jimmy or Jammy or Imami or whatever the hell your damn name is, okay? I would never grace your
Wow.
hot cart or whatever it is.
Shit.
Experience. And my time is valuable. My time is worth something. My time brings asses in seats. And there's only one podcast out there that is worthy of that already has the asses in the seats, and there's only going to get more, and that's Homeboy88, and I'll do it any day of the week. And you could go, and you could suck on that, Timmy J.
Oh, shit, Timmy J.
I'm sorry. Had to be said. Hey, you don't contact me directly. You go through my people. Who doesn't know this?
Well, actually, he was supposed to be on, and I was supposed to it was going to be a tag team match, but you know what?
Hey.
He stopped contacting me.
Of course.
He stopped
Scared.
contacting me.
Course.
We're gonna do. It was gonna be you and Jimmy T versus
Mm-hmm.
me and Jeremy on the UFC side, and we're gonna have our points. You know, I thought about it. I said, you know what? That's gonna be a clusterfuck.
Yeah,
Have
yeah.
to raise our hands. Why not go back to what works? Okay, why like the UFC? Why not go to something?
Well, much like WWE, you chose a winner. You chose a champion, okay? And I know, I remember since our first show, every day I get stopped on the street 4 or 5 times a day at least. When are you going to be back on Homeboy Show? When are you going to be back on Homeboy Show? We need you back on Homeboy Show. I said, hey, it's out of my hands. The man runs his own show. When he needs me, he needs me. I'm glad we're ringing in the new year together again, as we should talk about mega powers. This is the only show that matters. And if Timmy J ever wanted to tag team with me, if he ever wanted to elevate his game to this level of greatness, well, he's gonna need a couple more runs around the block before he gets there. Okay, first he's got to catch me to partner with me. Let me say that.
Okay. Well, Jimmy T, and he calls you Timmy J, but you know that's on him. You know, I'll try to get him on your show. You contact me, Jimmy, and then I will be the mediator and try to smooth things over for
We'll
you to go
consider
on.
it. We'll
He'll consider it. He'll consider it. It's not a yes. It's
Never.
not a yes,
Never.
but
Only
he'll
one show. Only one show.
and
is a
if you know
definite
what,
Yes.
I got a
888.
I got a confession to make. Okay,
Right.
about podcasting. I got disillusioned with podcasting. Okay, I stopped podcasting because it's oversaturated now. I
Yes.
feel there's a lot of people that came in like
Yeah.
much like these big time wrestlers that have great shows. I'm not gonna say they don't have great shows. Like Maven has a great show.
Yeah, I've seen
And
clips.
Kevin Nash has a good show. Jim Cornette has a good show. So who am I to compete with that? And not only that, on the comedy podcast, you got every fucking comedian doing the show now. I don't
Let me
listen to
tell you
those.
something. Let me tell you the difference, though. All right.
Yeah.
What you have that they don't have is you understand the art of broadcasting. It's one thing to be funny and it's one thing to have stories. But if you don't understand how to move a show along, if you don't understand how to broadcast, how to maintain an audience, it doesn't matter how funny you are, how many good stories you have. And you, sir, are a
Thank you.
broadcaster. You're a broadcaster. You're not a podcaster. You're a broadcaster. You know how to move a show along. You know how to format a show. You know how to keep an audience. And that's always way more important than somebody who just has a name. Go, hey, listen, you got
Yeah,
a name.
yeah. Because I'm gonna say this. He's right. Look, Joe Rogan is the biggest podcast in the world.
Mark-
but what does Joe Rogan
Mark
talk
on the
about?
planet.
The same fucking 5 topics.
Yes. For
Bigfoot,
hours.
aliens, marijuana, Gigantopithecus, ayahuasca, same shit every show.
For
And we-
hours.
for
Give me
hours.
give me
He
a,
asks the
a
same
structured show.
He talks the same shit to every guest. Go listen to Post Malone being interviewed. It's not an interview. They
No.
talk about the same shit. Go talk about The Rock. He asked them the same shit.
It's god awful.
Yeah, come on. Get a topic, stick to it.
Yes.
Do your research. Just don't
Yes.
sit down all lazy and shit and talk about, ayahuasca.
Yeah.
You can see
Well,
aliens when you take
let's go
fucking
back.
ayahuasca.
It's the same thing. And I'm sorry to cut you off. It's the same type of mentality that I was talking about earlier. This is what we as a culture have devolved to. This is acceptable. MMA is acceptable. You're dealing with the base kind of intellect. You're dealing with reptilian thought, a reptilian brain, and that's why I get it. You're a smart guy. You're one of the smartest guys out there. You probably got an IQ in the triple digits at least. So I'll give you the MMA. You can do whatever you want, but for the most part, these people, they live and die by it. They live and die by Rogan, and it's a statement of how dumb our society has gotten.
Well, okay. I mean, you're saying this about MMA, and I will agree right now, there's a lack of superstars in MMA right now. You got a couple, but it was back like when Conor McGregor was on top. I mean, it was on fucking fire. Much like when The Rock and Stone Cold were on top in the Attitude Era. Triple H. You can name 50 wrestlers that was on fire.
It's
Right
the
now, Brandon, if I'm not watching WWE, go ahead, sell it to me like a salesman on why somebody new, or maybe you don't give a shit, somebody new that does watch sports or watches movies or Star Wars or whatever, why should they get into WWE again right now? Go ahead.
if you enjoy entertainment, if you enjoy a good story, if you enjoy thought out and developed characters, if you're a fan of action, if you're a fan of comedy, if you're a fan of any of these things, you will be a fan of the WWE. You see, a lot of times it's how you start. If you come from a place where you're like, well, it's wrestling, then that's on you. You need to, and I think what they're doing is they're changing that. You can't see it as like, well, it's wrestling, it's scripted, it's entertainment. And that's why I praise them for their move to Netflix, and that's where they're going. It's pure entertainment. It's a TV show. Okay. That's why we have storytelling, we have characters, we have incredible action, no CGI. It's almost like a Christopher Nolan movie. Okay, we're not talking about CGI, we're talking about actual athleticism and action that comes from the human body and the human spirit. Okay, you're talking about people, that characters that you get behind, storylines that you recognize, the underdog going all the way to win the title. This doesn't happen in any other sport. You know
MMA,
what I mean?
what are you talking about?
Huh?
In MMA, let me get this, all right? In MMA, there's a guy named Dustin Poirier, okay? There was yeah, he does Dustin Poirier, right? He's a fucking chef. Don't fuck with this chef because this guy's from like Louisiana and shit.
All right.
A white kid, tough motherfucker, had a hard upbringing. He actually was in the same town or same high school as Daniel Cormier. Regardless, so this guy, when he was an amateur, he was spotlighted in a documentary called Fightville or Fighterville. I think it's Fightville. I can't look it up. Dustin Poirier, Fightville. Try spelling his fucking last name. Go ahead. But
Poirier.
Poirier. Yeah,
He's
Poirier.
a schmuck anyways, but go on.
Yeah, so this guy, I mean, you got to see him if you saw that documentary when he was already good as an amateur. He goes into the other leagues. He raises up. Finally gets into the UFC. I'm already invested because of the documentary. He wins, he loses. He keeps winning, he loses. He keeps going up. Now his skills are honed. Now he's a fucking killer. He fights Conor McGregor 3 times, wins 2 out of the 3. He lost the first one. Then he always fights for the title, but he never can get it because Khabib Nurmagomedov is a motherfucker. He fought him for the title. Bad guy to fight for the title. The last fight, he fights Khabib's training partner since he was a kid, Islam Makhachev.
Good name.
Finally, he gets another shot at the title. He's gotten 3 shots, by the way. This is it. The story is, can he complete the story? What was the Cody Rhodes, what they call it?
Finish. Is it? I don't remember.
Yeah, finish the story or something like that.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, they copied that on WWE.
At least that's memorable.
They're saying finish the story. They're promoting it like that. Actually, and if you talk to Islam, they fought. He said that was a tough fight because he actually he prepared. Islam's a motherfucker too. You don't want to fight that guy. He's fighting this month. And they fought, and it was a battle, and at the end Islam choked him out. I mean, it was a battle. I mean, it was back and forth. It was a good fight. You know why it was better? Because it was real, bro.
No. These people, they have no character.
Storyline.
There's nothing
fight.
There's nothing.
Underdog.
No.
He goes up.
No. Boring.
Championship.
Fest.
But because it's real, and the other guy's like, nah, you know what? Go fuck yourself. I'm not going to just give my belt to finish your story.
No.
Loses, but you know what?
So you just told me the story of a loser.
No, man.
A loser. A big loser. A 3-time loser. And this UFC praises?
Yeah,
A
he's
loser?
great. Dustin
Wow.
Poirier is awesome, bro.
Yeah, and is he still fighting? What's he doing now? Does he have a career?
That's kind of like what happened with. Well, maybe he has another shot, but I don't think he'll get the
Yeah,
title.
he's done. He's done, and that's the sad thing. These guys, they think they're getting in for a career, but once they're done, they're done.
Oh, he has hot sauce. He sells hot sauce.
Wow.
He does good with that. He does a lot of charity. He's well off. He could retire with those Conor McGregor fights.
Again, there's nothing there, and he's probably one in a few.
No, these guys.
They're not characters. They're not. They're. You know what? I don't want real. Real is boring. You go out into your world every day. You go to work every day. These are real people. Real is boring. That's why we watch movies. That's why we watch TV. That's why we watch, these stories. It's because real sucks. Real is full of ugly fat people with nothing to say. You typically look at any MMA crowd.
Here we. I'm gonna play you something, and this is way back in the days. This is UFC 136, but this guy was gonna fight for the title because he was on a win streak, and Anderson Spider Silva is one of the greatest of all times, if not. Here it is. Here's Joe Rogan, by the way. We're talking.
How happy are you with your performance tonight?
Sonnen.
Anderson Silva, you absolutely suck.
Wow. Isn't that creative?
Super Bowl weekend, the biggest rematch in the history of the business. I'm calling you out, Silva, but we're up in the stakes.
That's good. Hey, he learned from WWE, actually.
Yeah, exactly. Because you can't do it on their own.
I beat you. You leave the division. You beat me. I will leave the UFC forever.
Bro, let me tell you something.
That's cute. That's real cute.
They learn. But here's the great thing. They're cutting promos like that, and they're fucking fighting, man. They're throwing down.
That's not impressive, guys. Listen, I went to junior high where the fist fight started before 7 a.m. every day. All right. So to see it in a cage is not that impressive. I'm sorry. If that's what draws people in is a simple fight, then you're dealing with the lowest common denominator. Nobody I want to interact with, nobody I want to mingle with. I'll talk with Homeboy88. I'm not going to talk with these single brain cell MMA fans. Here's my money. Here's my money.
Here's another one, man. You ready?
Every single one of you. Look, what's next for me, Joe? I'm going to get that second belt. Where the is it? They should have had them 2 belts ready. Spit showing for me. They're both in the octagon. It's never been done before.
Where's it, Blue?
I'm sure you'll get your second belt. But listen, I've spent a lot of time, Joe, slating everybody in the company. Backstage, I'm starting fights off everybody. I've ridiculed everyone on the roster. I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, I'd like to take this chance to apologize to absolutely nobody. The double champ does what the he wants.
Why are they edited? They're so bad and bold. Why are they editing them? They're not on Netflix, are they? Oh, they got to be edited. Oh,
cutting promos now, like WWE. And by the way, Conor McGregor was doing the $1 billion walkers. The McMahon. Yeah, he did.
Of course, they can't. They have zero creative abilities. They have zero ability to think for themselves. They see what the greats do and they copy it. What do you expect? That always happens.
Well, that's the thing. Like you say, WWE is a show, so the UFC at certain points they're putting on the promos in the show, and they're trying. It doesn't connect. There's no heart. Did you hear the crowd? It's fucking packed.
Again, you're talking about a bunch of dumbos that drink real American beer. I mean, look who they vote. Like I said, I'll say it one more time. We're not going to turn it into a political show. Look who they voted for. Okay, enough said.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Hey, the truth hurts.
All right, so who are some of your favorite wrestlers of all time from back in the days? Let's go back because I'm feeling nostalgic.
Sure. Bret Hart was my guy.
Oh, we already did the theme song.
It's all right. Well, it'll live forever. It's eternal. Now that's an example of somebody who had the technical skills and who really, carried the company in their darkest days. So he's good. I thought Adam Baum never got the chance he deserved.
Oh, stop it.
Come on. He could have been great.
It.
He could have been great. Yokozuna, one of the greatest heels of all time. Puts Andre to shame.
I mean, he was good. Yokozuna was fucking good, man.
Great. You know me, I love a monster heel. Yeah. I can appreciate Shawn Michaels now. Back in the day, I hated him. But I was a monster.
Jim Johnston is the guy that made all the theme songs, man. Did he pass? I think he passed. Let me check on that.
That sounds right.
He made most of the theme songs.
Talk about a creative guy.
He's a genius, man.
Absolutely. And
fucking
to
genius.
each one fit the character kind of perfectly.
Yeah. And speaking of Yokozuna, if you guys go to WWE Vault on YouTube, you can check out the first Raw. And Yokozuna was in the main event.
Was he?
It was pretty cool, yeah.
Who was he fighting? Because they just put out something on Raw this last week talking about the main event of the very first Raw. And they mentioned somebody, but it wasn't Yoko. It might have been whoever he was fighting. Was it Diesel? No. Was it Macho Man?
Yoko?
Yeah.
Who was it that he fought? Shit, I can't remember. Back in the days, they used to try to fight jobbers and shit.
Yeah. Although I would think for the main event, that they'd bring out a little bit more of a name.
I think Jim Johnson is still alive.
Is he really? Wow,
yeah,
good.
So good.
I know Jimmy Hart wrote a bunch of themes as well. That's pretty impressive.
He helped write Real American Hero.
And that's the other thing.
I am a Real American. What's it called?
Does MMA have theme songs they come to the ring too?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, but they probably use like real songs, huh?
So
it's gonna be like a boxer also. Now boxing. Now heavyweight boxing.
Believe it or not,
get behind.
Believe it or not, this Colby Covington, who talk about cutting promos, holy shit, this guy goes overboard. This guy fucking, and he gets heat like a motherfucker, man. He talks about people's dead dads gonna be in hell.
I like that.
That was a little. That's a
not at all. Listen,
talking about you're a deadbeat dad because you don't pay child support.
That's great. Now that's a character.
And then he came out to this. He came out to this. That was cool.
I feel that.
And then the whole crowd was going, "You suck! You suck! You suck!" Yeah, that was pretty cool when he went out there. Okay. By the way,
that was a great song too.
And oh man, one of my favorites, man. Let's go through. We're gonna start wrapping up the show, but what are your favorite theme songs of all time?
Okay, I like this. That was a good one.
I love that one.
Now maybe I'm biased because he's my guy, but here's the best part. Here was the best part about a Bret Hart intro. So the challenger would come down, right? And it was always the same. The challenger would come down. He's just insurmountable bad guy that he's got to beat. Then he's in the ring. He's walking around. Then there's always a second. There's always a few seconds of silence, and they pan over the crowd. And then, then that electric guitar hits. Bret had a great song. Once that electric guitar hit,
I played the other version. This is just the straight up.
Yes, the crowd goes crazy.
This was Stone Cold's favorite theme song too.
Well, I see that because next on my list has got to be the Stone Cold theme song. I think it accomplishes the same thing. When Bret's song, when that opening guitar note hit, and then when the glasses hit, it's the same thing happens. It's like an instant in your face, here he comes, right?
Bro. Yes, dude.
You knew it was good, right?
It's Stone Cold! It's Stone Cold! It's Stone Cold! It's Stone Cold! And he's pissed in hell!
Damn it!
It's the Texas Rattlesnake! I gotta tell you, Jake the fucking Snake. This right here is Stone Cold Steve Austin. What did it say? 316 says, I just whooped your ass.
You know, and you can dump your Bibles, and you can talk about John 3:16. Well, Austin 3:16 says, I just whipped your ass. And then the best part was Michael Hayes. He goes, ooh, ooh, ooh. He goes,
Fucking Michael Hayes and shit.
So I like those because, like, that's the song that once it hits, it's like from the get-go, the level just went to 10. You know, now there are great songs that I think fit the character. Undertaker, obviously, when that it doesn't have like it's not like all of a sudden it's at 10, but it's like, you know, shit is going down, you know, like here we go, you know, you can't avoid it, even though it's not as like, oh, here we go. Well, Undertaker was kind of a slower character to begin with, but it was perfect. It was perfect for him. It was great, you know.
What about this one?
Do you smell what the Rock is cooking?
Oh shit, that's a bad one.
Now listen, he's had a lot, dude. I remember in his prime, there was one period of a week where he went through like 3 different songs. He even had a version of the Hypnotize.
Damn it. Let's see. Hold on. Let me see. Is it this one? What the fuck is this? Hey, you know what?
Must be some kind of big epic
What
thing.
kind of shit?
Yeah, you know what a great song was? The Game.
Yeah, this one. I like this one.
The Rock is cooking.
If you smile,
The Rock says,
Shut your mouth.
That's
That
right.
was great. I like The Game by Motorhead. That was a great song.
Oh yeah, Triple H.
Yes, it was just because, you know, it really kind of it captured what he was. He was just there to kick your ass, and he's not gonna hold anything back.
But I mean, if we gotta say one of the greatest theme songs of all time, it's this one, bro.
You and I, we don't get to see each other often, considering, you know, we're on both sides of the coast. We got a million things going on, but when we do, I know we always greet each other with, you know, too sweet. So that's it's eternal. It lives forever.
And this song's gonna live forever, man. And he cut when he cut a promo on the fans, and when he turned and shit, Billionaire Ted says, You fans can stick it, brother. Yep.
Oh, I just thought of another one.
Man, fucking nostalgia. Nostalgia.
It was good.
See, I knew you liked the old wrestling better than new wrestling. I knew it.
Yeah, well, listen, I grew up. That's not taking anything away from the new. It's just, you know, appreciating the old. Oh, I can't remember. You know, I'm having a brain fart. I just thought of another good one, but it's gone. Tatanka had a good one.
Who?
Tatanka.
No, he did not.
I would put Tatanka at the height of his win streak up against Goldberg at the height of his win streak any day.
Tatanka, man, you know what? You're going way back. He had a win streak and shit. I kind of remember.
Like a 2-year win streak. He really did. He did, man.
2-year win streak? Is that right, man? We gotta get
like that. Then there's the weird. Then I always thought they were the weird. They were the weird intro songs, which I get because at the time that they picked them, they had to, probably because of copyright or something. Like, was it Ric Flair? Or no, was it Macho Man? He had the graduation song.
Yeah, that's weird.
That's weird, right?
But it fit him, I guess.
It fit him, like the glory of it all. You know what I mean? It did fit him. God, I had a good one, and I can't remember it. It slipped my mind.
I mean, oh shit. This guy had a hell of a theme, and then he would get, you know. Oh, where is it? Here it is.
Great theme, great engine. Absolutely.
I just
Crazy.
I just watched a bunch of stuff on the Ultimate Warrior. They had a biography on him. He also did an hour-long shoot against Hulk Hogan. That was fucking
Wow,
fantastic.
that's cool. That's a good bet.
Yeah, because you know what, the Ultimate Warrior, he might have been hard to work with and everything, but it was pretty bad what WWE did with that one video. Remember that? Like the rise and fall of Ultimate Warrior. When
Ah,
they
yes, yes, yes,
they
yes,
just
yes.
shit on him, and it kind of broke him, man.
Yeah, that it is sad. There was a lot of tragic tales like that. But God, he was amazing. Do you remember back in the day there was always rumors of like he had died and like the guy that was in the ring wasn't the real Warrior? Do you remember that at all?
I remember that's not the Ultimate, like looking at the TV and going, that's not the Ultimate Warrior, that's somebody else. Wasn't that the case, or did he just get skinny after
No.
the
Was there?
steroid era?
Did they ever do a? They never did a fake Warrior storyline, right? I don't
I
think they
don't
ever.
think so.
No.
There
So
was,
I think it was just that was just like, gossip, rumor. It must have been his body change. So yeah, there was rumors that it wasn't the original Warrior. I do remember that. That was cool.
well, yeah, after the steroid trial with Vince
Yeah,
McMahon in
yeah,
WWE,
yeah.
and this is why Brett and Sean got title shots, is
Yes.
because
The little
they were,
guys.
yeah, they weren't on steroids, so they wanted to
Yes.
project that onto the but it
I
worked.
remember the intro that see to me it's not just the song, it's everything. It's the song, it's the coming down to the ring, it's the pop that the crowd gives them. And for
Oh,
me,
yeah, as a kid,
one of the best was that they had already been signed with WWE, so they were using their new names. But for me, one of the best with when they had their high pops was Legion of Doom. When it started, oh, what a
so you
and
like that
the
one better?
crowd was so fucking crazy.
Really? You like that one better than the other one?
Yes, yes. I like yes. Because he lets and then that guitar, it's perfect. Here they come. Here they come. Ready to die? That's what it's saying.
I think they had I think they had like two, this one too, man, in the NWA AW era when they would come out to this shit.
Yeah.
This shit was dope.
It worked too. It worked too, but I like the originality of the stuff. I didn't like when Hogan was using Jimi Hendrix.
No? Out of the Tiger?
I like the song.
When they'd be walking to the ring, dude, and I'd be like, oh fuck.
I get it.
And the spikes.
Those guys were amazing.
We're gonna wrap it up, man. We're gonna wrap it up. We're talking about WWE, UFC. We're just giving a bunch of love to both. If we're disagreeing on something, Jimmy T, what'd you call him?
Jimmy J.
Jimmy J.
Maybe one day he'll get to your level. Maybe.
Oh my God.
Maybe he'll have me on his show. I could grace his show.
You know what? If you guys, I'm gonna put the link up right now. Want to check out our first interview? We got off on the wrong foot on that one. We needed to. It's like when
we had to get it out of our way, right?
yeah, well, it's like when two kids fight and then after we're the best buddies.
They turned out to be best friends, right?
Yeah. We needed to get it out.
Now I appreciate what you do. I see the entertainer that you are. You're like a WWE superstar, not like how I thought you were an MMA fighter before. See, that's the thing. Those guys are fighters versus superstars versus fighters. I'll take a superstar any day. Thank you very much.
All right, man. That's Brandon Meltzer. Thank you again. And this has been the Homeboy88 Podcast, coming out of retirement because of you. Because of you. So maybe I'll do some more.
Absolutely.
Maybe I won't. But, see you guys next time.
Man. New year, new show. Let's go.
New year, new show. Peace.